not a great night for the Red Sox here tonight, dropping the series to the Yankees. This is a series that, if you win this one, you really just, obviously, you were so good against the Yankees this year. I mean, no, it wouldn't have been like any kind of a nail in the coffin by any means, but really would have just put the stamp on it for this year. But obviously, there's other things to worry about. But in the end, this is a series that you wanted to try and win here. Obviously, at Fenway Park, you got the Blue Jays coming up in a couple of weeks. Division is still within reach, even though it seems might be too good to be true. But still, you never know. When you go to Toronto, or when you get that matchup, you're within a couple of games, anything can happen. But dropping this series against the Yankees not only hurts that, but could also hurt some positioning within the wild card, right? We've taken a look at the standings here over the last several games, right? The Mariners have been playing very well. The Rangers just beating the Mets here. I mean, goodness gracious, how about the Mets? What is going on here with this Mets team? Are we witnessing we all witnessed the 2011 collapse. I don't ever want to talk about that again, but are we witnessing another one here in 2025 with a Mets team that, beat us out for Juan Soto, right? Go back to this past offseason. We were going after Juan Soto in a big way. Ended up being one of the final teams, but obviously went to the Mets. What a crazy story that would be if that is how it all ends. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But for the Red Sox, right, the Yankees going a little further for that first wild card. Even if the division, you're not able to attain that, you'd still love to get that 4 seed to have that home field advantage, right? It is what it is. But just worried about this offense right now. Worried about this offense. That is basically my biggest takeaway, right? We all saw what was going on with this offense before they called up Roman Anthony. He was a game changer. He completely it was amazing. He was amazing to watch, right? And seeing what he was able to bring to the table, seeing just how the lineup basically just flipped, right? From a struggling up and down offense every single day, right? You weren't sure what you're going to get out of this offense. And then Roman came up, and it just felt so consistent day to day. And without him, you just haven't had that. And I know I might sound like I'm all doom and gloom over here. I'm not trying to sound dramatic. I'm just seeing the same exact thing pre-Roman Anthony. All right. Obviously, he was not the whole story. He was not the whole offense by any means, of course. But you just see what happens when you take out an impact player from the lineup. It puts pressure on all these other guys. With Duran, he was more comfortable moving a little further down to the lineup. Everything just felt better with him there. And even though, yeah, sure, you had a couple of guys here today doing some things, right? Duran, Bregman going deep. You had Sogard having a pretty good day here today. Nate Eaton, he's been hitting great here the last few games, but you're getting these other guys that just aren't really able to do all that much, right? Story, I feel like he's been a little cold with the bat as of late. Carlos Narvaez not really able to do all that much today. Seti striking out here today. It's I don't know. It's the issues just keep on happening with this offense. And, when you take a look at the runners in scoring position, I bring this up every single show, but, 1 for 7 again tonight. Or another bad night going 1 for 7. 17th in WRC plus with runners in scoring position on the year now. Just insanely middle of the road. It is what it is, right? And yeah, you had a pretty tough matchup today with Max Fried. He pitched very well against the Red Sox the last time out, but you had opportunities again, just shooting yourself in the foot. Just getting yourself into these issues, right? Just not able to dig yourself out. Just a tough day. Tough day for the offense. Hopefully, Garrett Crochet can play stopper tomorrow and you can salvage the series, but that's a tough one. In the end, we can see right here, if you're not able to hit, Crochet, he can pitch his butt off tomorrow, but if you're not going to put runs on the board, if you're not going to be competitive there, I mean, who knows? Is it even going to matter how good Crochet pitches? Or he would have to throw at least a gem. I don't know. Just a tough one. Brian Bayo, not sharp here today. He just lacked the command. Just too many meatballs. Got himself into too much trouble. He was able to dig himself out of a couple of situations. I'll give him some credit there, but just not a sharp day, and unfortunately, just with how these bats are right now, you just have to have better performances. Hopefully, Crochet can give you that tomorrow. Hopefully, this guy can be nails. He has been against the Yankees the last couple of times, so let's see if he can go 3 for 3 over his last three, over the 3 performances here. Let's get into it here. I see a lot of familiar faces here in the chat. We got Jennifer, we got Barry, we got Mike, we got Brian, we got Mr. Data. What's going on? How you doing? Mason, hello. Wonder Davy, what's going on? How we doing? Andrew, hello, my friend. Welcome, everybody. But I can tell too. It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm even seeing it here right now. The energy right now among the Red Sox fan base, I feel like it's gone down a little bit, right? Because, we had, for the post-game shows for a good couple of months straight, I mean, we were getting 150, 200, 250 people. It felt like every single post-game. And as soon as Roman went down, I have noticed it, right? Less people coming in, less people tuning in. I don't know. It makes me wonder how all of Red Sox Nation is feeling over the last few weeks. But hopefully they can get this turned around here, and they can salvage this one here tomorrow. Everybody, if you can, just hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 5K by the end of the season. We're going to get into the post-game show for tonight. We'll go over the offense. We'll go over Brian Bale. We'll go over Game 3 for tomorrow night. We'll check out the standings, see what's going on. But before I do really dive into everything, let's get to one of our sponsors.
Time for your weekly Arena Club segment where we see what AJ pulls from a slab pack. And here we go. FT fam, let's talk about Fair Harbor. And if you're listening, I hope that you watch this conversation at some point because we're doing show and tell, Kratz. Shorts, they can be used as a bathing suit. And the liner, which we call butter, is the game breaker. It's the playmaker because it's different.
You've worn shorts that are not like this, and the liner sucks. They are buttery on your butt.
I just came up with something for them. Your liner sucks. Get Fair Harbor liner. Seriously, give it a shot. I'm not just saying this. The butter analogy plays. And FT fam, we're hooking you up. fairharborclothing.com/foul. 20% off when you use the code FOUL on your first purchase. Once again, that's fairharborclothing.com/FOUL for 20% off your first purchase and use promo code FOUL.
Alrighty, let's get to it here, shall we? Let's get to it here. And we might as well talk about Brian Bale to start things off. Let's talk about Bale here. Like I said, not particularly sharp. But I don't know what is going on with my software here, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is goofing up over here. I don't know what is going on. But Brian Bale, let's talk about him. The Yankees, give them credit, man. They've looked very good here in the first couple of games. That offense has just jumped right at them. And they got on the board first here today. In the first inning, this could have been a lot worse for Bale here today. This could have been a blowout from the early going, and I'm glad Bale was able to get himself back on track. Grisham with the hit by pitch. Rice had the ground rule double. Judge with the walk. He had bases loaded just like that. Bellinger got the sac fly there, but hey, with the game that Bellinger had here today, hindsight, man, oh man, it could have been a lot worse. So Bellinger drove in the run there. Jazz, he also had a good day today. Jazz Chisholm, very good day for him. Man. He's just playing Red Sox killer as of late. But he had a base hit, made it 2-0. He walked Dominguez after that, but then he bounced back, striking out Caballero and Wells. So Bale was able to get himself right there, bouncing back in a big way to end the first. But, man, tough start. But third inning, the Yankees kept on going. Judge with the walk, Bellinger with the base hit, Jazz with another RBI that made it 3-0. And then he sat down the next 3. Fifth inning, Jazz once again getting to the Red Sox. Home run there made it 4-0. And, just kind of a whatever day for Bayo. I just felt like he just didn't seem to have a good feel today. He was lacking the command. Overall, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned, 4 Ks, 3 walks. Just kind of a whatever, kind of a day. Not the worst day by any means, but not the day you want with this offense struggling. Now, let's get to the offense. First inning, again, multiple opportunities. Multiple. Romy staying hot. Continuing the hit streak. Story with the ground out moved him over to second base. So he had a runner in scoring position right there. Ref Snyder with the walk. Narvaez with the ground out. Not able to do anything. Second inning, Eaton getting on with the walk. Sogard with the base hit. But then Eaton, sure, good game here. But I don't know. I don't. To me, I get it. You're trying to make things happen. He tried to get to third. But I just think, I don't know. To me, just tough. Getting thrown out at third by Dominguez there, not great. Just halts momentum. I'm a believer in momentum. I really am. When you are getting off to that hot start in the inning, to me, I don't know. I'd rather not chance that. And then Wong came up with a double, but then Seti and Romy with strikeouts. Huge opportunity there in the second inning, and just not able to do anything. That to me, that shows a team that is just pressing. That's a team that's they're just trying to do too much. And I don't know, man. Just putting more pressure on themselves. Fifth inning, after the Jazz home run, you were able to answer back. Seti had the base hit. Romy then got into the double play, but then Bregman with the pesky shot that made it 4-1. Hey, what did I all tell you last night? We did the DraftKings player spotlight. I told you all, hey, Bregman, he saw Fried well his last time out. He had 3 hits off of him at Yankee Stadium. I was thinking a good game here for Bregman, and yeah, you got that good shot there. It was the pesky shot, but hey, made it 4-1. Sixth inning, Eaton, Sogard with the base hit, and then Boone came out. I'm thinking Fried's done for the day. Fried was able to talk himself back into staying out, and then Wong coming up with a base hit. They made it 4-2. Sogard moved up to second base. How about Connor Wong today? Not a bad day for Connor Wong. But then Seti, Romy striking out. Just too many chances. Momentum just stopped. Duran came up with a pinch hit home run in the 8th inning. That was his 15th home run of the year. Made it 4-3 at the time. And Chapman, he came in, though, getting to the bullpen. Murphy, he was pretty solid, 1 2/3 innings. Whitlock, first appearance since September 7th, almost a week against the Diamondbacks. He looked a little rusty out there. Dominguez with the base hit. Caballero getting the double there. He was able to strike out Wells, got McMahon on the ground out. Then Chapman. I feel like Chapman needs a bit of a rest. I think he needs kind of what Whitlock got right there. I feel like a few days might do him some good. I would love if Crochet, the dream for tomorrow is Crochet can just put the Red Sox on his back. Chapman gets the night off. You score enough runs. You don't have to use them. You got the day off on Monday. That's what I would love for Chapman. He's been a little spotty here over the last week or so. He's been so great this year. And I don't know. I just see, is he maybe starting to wear down a little bit? I'm not really going to put, I'm not going to be pressing the panic button by any means. Chapman's been so good this year, but I think it would do him some good. A couple of days, I think, would be great. In the end, Judge with the base hit. He did have the wild pitch to Bellinger. Judge moved up to second base, and then Bellinger and that AB had the double, made it 5-3. And that was it. Not able to do anything there off David Bednar in the 9th inning. Just a tough day. Tough day, man. You felt like even when they were getting close there, and even this lineup is not giving you any confidence right now. It's just not. And even when they pull within one, you don't feel very good about it. Whereas just a month ago, you're within one run, and you're thinking, we got this in the bag. Like, we can get this here. I don't have that same confidence right now. I just don't. Lots of Red Sox games over the years, and there's just some kind of a feeling in the air. Just feels like you're pressing a lot. Hopefully, yes, Sherry in the chat, hopefully things can change tomorrow. Hopefully they can end this one on a good note tomorrow. We'll get to tomorrow. We'll go over the preview. We'll go over the standings real quick here. Let's take a look at those standings, shall we? Let's see what's going on. And, again, the story of the day right now is the Mets. Taking a look here. Let's pull that up. All right, so, but for the Red Sox right now, they've now dropped 3 in a row. You dropped the finale to, I was about to say Oakland. That is no longer the case. Sacramento as of right now. But you dropped the finale there, and then you dropped the first 2 to the Yankees. That's tough, man. You know, the Yankees, just like that, gained 3 games on the Red Sox. Up 2.5 on the Red Sox at this point for the first wild card. Red Sox still in the second spot. But listen, all of a sudden now, it's getting a little uncomfortable because you got the Astros and the Mariners. They're tied for the division and the third wild card. The Rangers, obviously, beating the Mets here today. They're right there. The Red Sox right now, not only, yes, we would love to be able to have that first wild card, but you got to start looking out for what's behind you here. I mean, listen, if you're playing up and down baseball for the next week or two, there could be a situation where maybe the Red Sox are on the outside looking in. I mean, at this point, you were looking pretty good there for a little bit. You were looking like you were in a pretty comfy spot. Just like that, dropping 3 games, and while these teams are getting hot, like the Mariners and the Rangers, you got to start picking this up. Just saying. It's I am not comfortable right now. I'm not. We'll see. The Astros are playing the Braves as of right now. The Mariners, they are red hot. They win again here, or they're playing the Angels here tonight. That starts at 9:40, so it's a big one. You got Brian Wu on the mound. It's looking uncomfortable right now. We'll take a look at Game 2. Sorry, not Game 2, Game 3 for tomorrow. And we'll see. We'll give you my thoughts on that one for tomorrow. But before we do, one more word from our sponsor. I'll be right back.
FT fam, let's talk about Fair Harbor. And if you're listening, we are longtime fans of Omaha Steaks, and I am drooling looking at the website right now, featuring USDA certified tender steaks, and also during their Red Hot Sale event going on right now this fall, 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus for the FT fam, an extra $35 off with promo code FOUL at checkout. You've been a big fan of Omaha Steaks since your early days as a pro.
Brings me back to my low A-ball days, because we used to survive on this. We get a big order at the beginning of the year, cook them on our little electric grill, can of peas, some mac and cheese. That was dinner for 4. We survived off Omaha Steaks. It still has a special place in my heart.
You thrived.
Well,
you guys ate like kings.
Yeah.
That's special. Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event, and for an extra $35 off, promo code FOUL at checkout. 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code FOUL at checkout. See site for details. Dig.
Alrighty, let's get to the Game 2 I keep saying Game 2. Game 3 preview. I swear, all of the issues I was having earlier with the technical stuff, it got my brain all out of whack. It's already a potato in there, but that all messed with me, and my thoughts right now are just all over the place. Goodness gracious. But let's pull this up. We got ESPN Baseball tomorrow. Big time matchup. Let's get to game day. And Crochet. Hey, listen, we need a stopper. Yes. You brought this guy in to be the ace of your staff, and he's done so much for this Red Sox team this year. I mean, you could say the MVP of this team this year. But you need one here tomorrow. I know. We've been asking a lot out of Crochet this year, but you really need this one here tomorrow, because this wild card, it's starting to get more tight as we go along here. And Will Warren, listen. Will Warren, the ERA 4.22 over the 30 starts this year, he's been pretty solid. pretty solid overall. ERA at the 4.22, but the FIP is at a 3.91. So you can tell, when you're looking at the strikeout to walk ratio, 9.6 strikeouts per nine, 3.7 walks per nine, 1.1 home runs per nine. I mean, you could tell that this is pretty solid here. And we've seen Warren from earlier in the year. He wasn't very sharp against the Red Sox his last time out, but his last few starts since then, he has looked better. The Yankees pitching staff has just looked great. Besides the bullpen a couple of times, the Yankees starting pitching has looked very good over the last couple of weeks, and Warren, since that start, has looked better. I believe that was so go back earlier in the year as well. 5 1/3, 4 earned. So he has had his issues with the Red Sox this year, so maybe that could be a good sign. But listen, just the way they're pitching right now, it feels like they got a little momentum going. I'm not looking at those prior starts, because at the end of the day, guys make adjustments. And if he tries out something different tomorrow and it works, and with the way this offense has been, I mean, listen, who knows? So I think with Warren, it's easy to say, go out there and be aggressive, right? Try and get to him early. And of course, but we just saw here today, over the last week or so, we've seen some times where they try to get a bit aggressive, and it's come back to bite him a little bit. To me, it's just try not to do too much. Yes, have the aggressiveness, but don't try to overdo it. Just try to make good quality contact, get runners on, work the counts. You got to do everything you can right now, and you need everyone to start stepping up in this lineup. Again, Warren, he's had his issues here the last couple of times against the Sox, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm not feeling confident going into this one. I don't want to say they don't have a chance at this one here tomorrow. I'm more so just saying that, hey, you know what? We're struggling a little bit here. I'm not taking it for granted is basically what I'm trying to say. But with Crochet, you do have confidence because, he's looked very good. Not only has he looked great against the Yankees his last couple of times out, but against the A's his last time, my goodness, this guy was off the charts. 7 innings, 10 Ks, 3 hits, huge bounce back performance from the time against the Guardians. I'm liking Crochet for tomorrow. We'll have to see how this goes. They need this one here tomorrow. I never want to say that, it's like a must win, but you would really like to win this one here tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. We're going to start wrapping it up here. And let's see what I do see a couple of you in the chat. I see a couple of things. Yeah, Sherry in the chat. Got to be more selective at the plate. Good team, just a mental block. I'm also going to give credit to the Yankees. I'm not going to say, it's just all on the Red Sox here. The Yankees they're playing good baseball right now, right? You get it. You're just seeing Jazz Chisholm here today. Bellinger stepping up. These guys are playing good ball. They're pitching well. The Yankees are just playing well right now. So I'm not going to say like, oh my goodness, we just stink. Yeah, of course we've handled the Yankees well this year, but hey, they still got good players over there, So, what else we got? Someone in the chat saying Raffy starting to hit well. Yeah, Raffy has been hitting well in San Fran, and hey, credit to San Fran right now, man. They're getting hot at the right time, taking advantage of that Mets losing streak. Steven in the chat, I hate to say it, but I think we're cooked. We have the A's coming up, and that team would love nothing more to play spoiler. Then we have the Blue Jays. Yeah, you still got some tough matchups, right? That Tiger. We also got word on Tarek Skubal today with the Tigers. He's going to be fine moving forward. That was big. If they lost him, that was going to be a big loss for that Tigers team. But he's going to be good to go, and he's probably going to be making his next start. Okay, yeah, and then the Blue Jays. Obviously, they've been playing well this year, and then Tampa. Tampa too. Tampa's always tough. Tampa is always tough. And then the A's, right? Yeah, sure. The A's haven't been great this year, but they just saw us. Maybe they make some adjustments, right? That's a team that, sure, They're not quite there yet, but you could tell from that last series, they're going out there trying to be competitive. You know, so they're not just gonna let you walk all over. So I definitely agree with you. Griffin Bryan, it may not be 100% true, but you got to admit we're far enough removed. Yeah, I know. I think with Raffy, listen, we're done. We're done talking about the whole Raffy thing, but you saw this lineup being able to do their thing even without Raffy. It's easy to say, "Oh man, we should have never have made that trade." I mean, listen, we saw how well they played without him. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, without Raffy, we're like, oh my goodness, we're so much better. Obviously, Raffy's a great player, but you saw what happened when you're able to get Roman into this lineup. You created a little bit more flexibility. We saw good things. I'm not saying that's because you took Raffy out. Obviously, he's a very good hitter, obviously. But ended up helping out the Red Sox when it came to a flexibility point of view. But when Roman went down, it hurts. So, yeah, of course you would love to have someone like Raffy right now, of course. Yeah, that would definitely help. You would have loved to have had a situation where both guys were in the lineup, right? But in the end, positions were not wanting to be changed. Feelings were hurt. Egos were hurt. It is what it is, Good things have been handled better. Yeah, of course, always. But it is what it is. I'm not going to look back on it. I'm looking at what we have right in front of us. I'm looking at what we got ahead. We were playing fantastic when Roman was on this team, or when he was in the lineup. They got to figure it out without him. So, everyone, that brownie in the chat, keep drinking the Nessun Kool-Aid. No Kool-Aid here, my friend. I'm just being realistic. I'm not gonna whine over the past. I'm going to sit here and see what we got in front of us, and I'm going to look at that. I'm not looking in the past, right? Again, of course, would love to have Raffy. But he didn't want to change the position. It is what it is. So, but I'm out of here, everybody. Go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Bummer of a night. We'll be back here tomorrow. Game 3, Crochet on the Mound, ESPN Baseball. We'll see you tomorrow.